every day, helping them grow, helping them learn. That's the most important thing that matters to me, is that they're learning and that they're safe and they're protected in my classroom. I've been teaching 9 years. Next year will be my 8th year here at Legacy, so I have a pretty good idea of how everything flows, how it works. So we do like things new, and coming up, a little nervous. Do a pretty good job of slowly introducing them all and letting them know everything's okay. You'll get used to it eventually. I have 4 stepchildren, but they're pretty much my children. I don't know why my youngest daughter wasn't in that picture with us, but she is. We're originally from New York, so we're big Ranger fans, hockey fans. So there she is in that jersey. Just like the Munoz, I use Journey's curriculum for next year, which will go through the grammar and writing. I'll also do a lot of supplemental materials for writing as well, so they can get to a higher level than what Journeys allows them to get to. Schoology is an online platform that all of us use in 6th grade and the entire Legacy school, that your students can access any materials they might have missed if they were absent one day, if you're out of town, they can always access and see what they're doing that week and it's right there for you. The big projects would be a wax museum. Maybe some of you have an older sibling that's done it before. That's when they research a historical character and they become that character and they do a whole presentation on it. And they'll also have a literary analysis where they'll analyze the life of 2 different people and just compare them in a different way. And that's what we're doing this week.
Yay, this is very good. Do you want me to flip to the side?
All right, Ms. Grasser.
Hi, I'm Ms. Grasser. I'm 6th grade social studies. As you can see, I have a 3-year-old daughter. I've taught in Arizona for 8 years. This is my first year at Legacy, but 8 years in total in Arizona. I like to read, watch sports, listen to music. For social studies, we use our textbook called World Interactive, so it's World History. In 5th grade, they do American history, so next year will be different. And we use Schoology, same as Mr. American. And then we use an online learning app called Reworks, so kind of supplements reading, but with social studies topics. Ancient civilizations are what we focus on, so Rome, Egypt, China, Greece, a couple other ones. And then we also use social emotional learning on Wednesday. Yeah, that's it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ms. Garrett. I am the 6th grade science teacher. I just put undergraduate in Russian University. I'm originally from New Jersey. Been here now for 3 years. My first year teaching here at Legacy. I'm the oldest of 6. Okay. And what can they expect for 6th grade science? All right. So our curriculum is mentioned. And we have weekly labs, which is exciting for students to actually get to the next one with the course that we're working on. We also have projects. We have science and engineering projects, which can be very challenging, but this is my first year and we made it. It was a good ending with that. We also do like the LOC 1 and 2 on them up. But they can expect, a lot of hands-on in science class, weekly homeworks, maybe twice a week. Not a lot, but just to let them get like a summary of what they're doing, understanding of what they're learning in class. But they look forward to the project, which will be, about like 2-3 months of the process. But it turns out very well.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Cisneros, going into my 10th year with Legacy. It has been great. I've been in 4th grade, probably 4th and 5th grade, 17 years. But I'm really looking forward to this new adventure into 6th grade now. Going to be great to do envision, We've been doing Envision now for the last 3 years. Looking forward to meeting all my parents. But that's it. So, yeah, native Arizona. Look forward to seeing you next year.
Hi, I'm Miss Blake. I am the junior high math and science teacher, so I teach 7th grade math, 8th grade math, and 8th grade science. I've been teaching this next year will be my 15th year teaching 14th at Legacy. Fun fact, I opened this school. I was a first grade teacher, and then I went to 4th and now I'm in junior high, and that's where I'm teaching. And I have a dog named Poppy, that picture, and Miss Jimenez, you'll meet her later. We are always together. So there's a good day. We teach that together. So, yeah, excited for next year.
Okay, so I am Miss Bordelin this year. This is going to be my 4th year here. 4th year? Yeah, 4th year here teaching, and I think 5th year altogether. I am originally from Chicago. I moved to Arizona when I was a kid, so I lived most of my life here. I do have 2 children. They both, one's graduating 8th grade this year, and then one is going to 5th grade next year. I spend most of my time with them, and we watch sports, we hang out. I teach 7th grade English and literature, and then I teach 8th grade English and literature. And pretty much we kind of read in literature. We have 4 novels that we read a year, and then in English we do grammar and writing, and then we have about 4 essays that we write a year.
Hi, I'm Miss Nicholson. I specifically only teach 8th grade English and 8th grade literature. This is my second year teaching with Legacy as an ELA teacher. I was born and raised here in Arizona. Never get used to the heat. Don't know how we will do it. Don't know how it happens. I'm currently actually in school for my master's in elementary and special education. I personally love to read, write, and I support my kids in their extracurricular activities. My daughter's a cheerleader, and my son does everything from mixed martial arts to other sports on the side. So I get it, and I'm actually the softball coach here with Legacy. Both of our girls intramural NCAA championships this year. Super proud of my ladies. So that's what I do. That's who I am. Portable kind of covered us for ELA and for literature. So we're pretty solid there. We're pretty aligned. We're a solid team. Hello everybody, I'm Miss Jimenez. I also teach math. I teach 7th grade math, algebra, and geometry to majority 8th grade. I have been here in Legacy for 3 years, and I taught in California 3 years, also math, for middle school. I love to hike, play soccer, and do more math because I never have done. And then Miss Blake and I also hooked up because we do everything. She also teaches soccer with myself. And then just in math, I know it's always a struggle coming in. It's one step at a time, and when you see the light, it will guide you.
Not authorized. My name is Mr. Nelson. I teach 7th grade English literature and 8th grade social studies. I've been teaching since 2005. I've stopped counting, but I just say 2005. As it says, I'm from Minnesota, and I have lived in Arizona since the early 2000s. So I have lived here longer than I lived in Minnesota. As you can see, I do security. I did the Super Bowl for the Cardinals, and I'm security for the Diamondbacks. So like the students will notice me. I'll get changed really quick. I'm heading down in a little bit for the ballpark. So if you're down at the ballpark, they come down saying hi. I'm at a visitor bullpen. And yes, I got it. I'm this. Nothing else. No Nelly Mr. Nelly. So, look forward to seeing all of you next year.
So Mr. Nick right now, he's out, but he'll actually be back really soon. And he teaches 7th and 8th grade science. And he is really wonderful with math, computers, sports Tanbara instructor, something with like Japanese knives. Swords. Japanese swords. Okay, next slide.
Hi guys. I'm Mr. Oster. I'll be teaching 7th and 8th grade social studies this year. So I'll be teaching, I believe, all the 7th grade social studies. 7th grade, actually 8th graders after having. I greatly why I'm in Northern Idaho. I've been teaching down here in Arizona since 2012. I came down here to take a job actually at this school. It's my 11th year teaching. Next year will be my 10th year on the Avondale campus. But I had a couple years off of teaching, and then this last year I've been at Legacy North. As I'm going back to this campus, close to my house. I'm a Seahawks and Mariners fan, so if you got no Seahawks. Zach, we'll show you. Anyway, Seahawks and Mariners fan. I'm having to do things like video games, Lego, and I want to go hiking. I have 2 dogs and 3 cats at the time, but I will show you my dogs and cats sometimes, maybe. And then our curriculum, so 7th grade, world history, it's kind of late Middle Ages into the modern world. So we cover things like the Renaissance, the Age of Discovery, colonization, the Delta Revolution, the American and French Revolutions, and the World Wars. And then 8th grade is U.S. history. There's a whole big focus at the beginning on U.S. Constitution and civics. And then we cover U.S. history really from the Civil War up to the present. So that is what I got for them. So look forward to seeing you guys this year.
We are so happy to have Mr. Oster back. Like you said, he stopped for a couple of years, but he's back. So if you have older kids, you probably remember having him.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Missy Cotero. Spanish, buenas tardes a todos. I am originally from Puerto Rico. Next year would be my 8th year in Legacy Traditional School, but this will be my first year in this campus, so I'm very, very excited to do things. It is my 15th year teaching next year. And some of the things that you can expect in the class is realize all 4 elements of the language: listening, speaking, writing, and reading activities, communicating Spanish as the year progresses, and don't worry, it's actually fast, so beginners are welcome. Communicating Spanish, yes. Participate daily to demonstrate communicate abilities, learn about the culture of Spanish-speaking countries. And I love to travel, spend time with family, write poetry, and also I have fascination with making earrings and crafting as well. Welcome everyone, and I'm very excited to be here.
Hello everyone. My name is Mrs. Wheatley. I teach choir and musical theater here. So originally born in Maryland, was a Texan for 20 years, moved to Arizona 10, 11 years ago. This is my 8th year with Legacy. Started out at Glendale, came here middle of the 2017-2018 year. Taught at Mesa for a year, came back. So been with Legacy for a while, and so with just a little snapshot of choir and musical theater, lots of opportunities for performing. We do have 2 concerts a year, one in December and usually one in May, so like a winter concert and a spring concert. There is a lot of opportunity to learn how to read music, what we call sight reading, as well as just using a variety of music. We always start with like 2-part harmony in the fall. We move into 3-part harmony towards the end of the year. So that way they just learn how to grow and build their musical skills and musical theater. Usually one concert will choose like a musical number, and then usually the other concert will choose something just more theater based and very acting. dig into a lot of history, how theater got started, and just a lot of the mechanics in and out of like what happens backstage versus what happens on the stage. So there's just like a lot of background research as well. So there's still a lot of making content in music, but they also get to show off, and so that's a lot of fun for them. So in a nutshell, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Mohammed. I teach junior arts, 6 and 8, from Puerto Rico. I've been teaching art in 1 years. And I teach art 1 for, well, my classes are mixed, 7 and 8. And I teach also advanced art. um, So if your student is planning to take talent, they have pretty much our one is about the elements and principal designs, and then we basically learn more complex concepts and techniques. And I'm super proud of my students. We work very hard every year. We have shows every year at the end of the year. My students are already placing first. I'm super proud to say that. And I'm very excited to see it.
Good evening, I'm Mrs. Yellen, and I teach computers and robotics. I also teach basic computers, so all the students in here. So for 6th graders in here right now, if you take computers and robotics, first semester is computers, and it's a continuation of a lot of things you've already been learning about becoming proficient in all the Google Apps, Docs, Slides, and Sheets. And we'll do some research projects, a lot of presentations, we'll learn how to format a resume, and we'll make a restaurant flyer, which is a pretty popular project in the class. And then we'll also learn some more advanced formulas and sheets. We use an app called SketchUp to build a dream home. You guys get to get as creative as you want with that, so it's a lot of fun. And we work a lot in groups as well as individual projects. And then for robotics, which is 2nd semester, we use VexIQ kits. We're getting 2nd generation next year, so we're upgrading. Pretty cool. And you guys will build a lot of devices and bots, and we're going to program and code them. And then at the end of the course, you will get to design, build, and program your own robot. So it's pretty cool. See you guys next week.
Good evening. My name is Cipriano Castillo. This is my 4th year at Legacy. I taught musical theater and choir my first year here. I was born here, graduated from New Mexico State, where I grew up. All those things, I really do like doing them when I have time. To promote the classes that I'll be teaching, I teach instrumentals from 3rd grade. They do recorders, 4th grade band, and all the way up to 6th grade and junior high. I really like teaching this grade level because we get to move beyond Twinkle Little Star and really learn some good music and dig deep into good repertoire. So that's why I like teaching the older grades. I think it's a great tool for their age. They get to learn a lot of self-control. It's good for their brain. I know that right around 5th, 6th grade, they start going through those changes, right, Kenneth? Like, we talk about that in class. You still got to be a good student, even though you're going through things and, with yourself. And so I think playing an instrument and learning any kind of music is good for self-expression because it keeps us from expressing ourselves in unhealthy ways. Let's see. Students are responsible for providing their own materials, but I pride myself on getting an instrument in anybody's hand who wants to be in my class. So we can make it happen and do something that we help with. Daily practice is a small price to pay for healthy self-expression, and at any level, they're welcome to join in. I have told parents before that if a student joins Mozart program in third grade and then skips and decides to go back to PE in fourth grade, well, when they're in fifth grade, if they decide they want to come back, they already know how to read music and have some kind of knowledge. So it's not about getting them to, to track them with only music from fourth grade all the way to junior high. If they decide they want to go back and forth, they at least have the knowledge. And I think that's a good balance for them to learn what they're good at that age. That's me, and that's what I'll be teaching. And yeah, seems like Miss Keeley, we do 2 concerts, one in the fall, one in the spring. And I'm always trying to work hard to get them more performance opportunities, like flag performance or something like that, because they work real hard and they deserve to share their gift. That's me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Lewis. This is going to be my 19th year teaching and my 13th year at Legacy. Before I was here, I was a high school English teacher, and I just found out that K-8 kids kind of like to do a little more, so that's what I did. I'm the gifted teacher for all of the grade levels, but then I also teach junior high gifted. If you're interested in that, you do have to have previously tested for that, so if that's something that you're interested in, you can shoot me an email and we can get kids tested before the end of the school year if they want to take it as an elective for next year. I also teach yearbook. It's very rare that a 7th grader gets into yearbook, but I do have 3 this year, so it's not uncommon. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's also an opportunity for you. And I teach AAG, which is Academic Achievement Group, and this class allows students to come and work on their homework and projects and make up tests and learn about study skills. That's my husband and my daughter Sophie. She'll be 4 in July. She's a COVID baby, so you know how that goes. So anyway, she threw up on me yesterday. All the other parents know what I'm talking about. She had heart surgery when she was 9 weeks old. So she's a little heart warrior and a little heart. So that's me. You'll see me here all the time. I'm in PTO and here all the time. So Claire, I think you're up.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eric Ware. I'm a junior high physical education teacher as well as 6th grade home medicine. Physical education, some may feel may be easy A or the prep for teachers, but that is not what it is. I went to school, I graduated with a job in exercise science, so I take that job for right? So just wanted to let you know that. Also, the best thing about physical education is the opportunity to participate, all right? So you do not have to be a phenomenal athlete or anything like that to participate in physical education. You just have to have an open mind and a willingness to learn. Other than that is all I have to say. Everybody else has to say that.
All right, one more round of applause for our entire staff. Great service. I mean, what a great group of people. I like hearing them talk. So for our last half of the presentation, we're just going to go into what is the core differences between their time in kinder through 5th and now in 6th through 8th. So we wanted to just bring up our mission statement and a very important part of it, where it's to provide motivated students. What we see oftentimes as students transition from 5th grade into the middle school setting is a loss of motivation. And so what we want to maintain is some type of, is the motivation from students. What that means is effort. So students, if you're sitting in here right now, I want you to remember what I'm saying. You need to put in effort. If you put in effort and you work with your teachers, you ask them questions, you will succeed. But you have to take that initiative to put in the effort first so that the teachers can see, oh, this student, they are trying, they're asking me questions, I want to help them. That is that motivation that we really want to see, we really want to foster as they go into 6th through 8th grade, because we know typically it declines.
And so students, I just want you to remember that word effort. Effort, effort, effort. Are you trying? If your teacher says, okay, take out your bell work, finish your bell work, and then we're gonna take out our textbook, and if you don't take out your bell work, is that putting in effort? No. Even if you don't get it correctly, you have to at least try so that we can see where you need help. So that's definitely something that we see as they transition, and I just wanted to kind of hone in on that, is putting in the effort, trying to complete your homework, trying to complete your bell work, because in a couple of slides, I'll talk a little bit about homework as they transition to the D building. Okay, so mental shifts for 6th through 8th grade, as they move from having one teacher all day long, they will now either have 5 core teachers or 5 core teachers in 6th grade, 5 in 7th, 5 in 8th, 2 special teachers. They have a lot more adults that they will interact with. So they aren't going to be with one adult the entire day. They will have to make sure that they are building relationships, being respectful to multiple adults on campus. At the same time, having that perspective of these teachers don't just have 32 kids in their class. They now have 160 to 230 kids. So it moves from that hand feeding, that spoon feeding, to more independence for our students. More independent to make sure that they're writing their homework down in their agendas. They might not get to get them checked every single day, but it is important that they complete it every day so that they get their homework done every night. So there's definitely a shift because of the number of teachers that they will have and because of the number of students that our 6th through 8th grade teachers have. One way that you can help with this mental shift is by developing a routine to check that Power School. Our teachers are wonderful at keeping their gradebooks updated so that you can see, did they turn in their homework this week? Oftentimes I'll meet with a parent and they will tell me they did their homework. They didn't turn it in. And then we look at the kid and we're like, okay, you are putting in the effort, you're completing it, but you're failing to do that last step of turning it in. And that's why you're getting 0 on it. So a lot of that organization skills, making sure that they're paying attention to the time homework is collected, because their teachers aren't going to be digging into their backpack, finding their red folder and finding their homework like it has in the past. So checking Power School, you can download the app on your cell phone. Raise your hand if you have the Power School app. Okay, you guys can teach it for me. It dings, it gives you a notification as soon as something is entered. So you can stay up to date on your child's grades. And then the scaffold of support, because of the number of teachers, because of the number of students that each teacher will have, will scaffold quicker than it has in the past. All right, so daily homework. This is what I was talking about earlier. And this is approximately what they will have. The bottom line is they will have homework every night, Monday through Thursday. That's another thing that I sometimes hear. They said they didn't have any homework. If they don't have homework, the teachers will tell you. It'll be in the junior high newsletter that they send out every Friday. It'll say we're math testing, we're state testing, whatever the reason is. Otherwise, they will have homework Monday through Thursday. Electives, it's 1 to 2 times a week, but in their other classes, it will be at least some of that every single day, okay? Instead of, actually, can you go that way, please? There are also some long-term assignments, which the teachers are great at keeping you informed through that newsletter so that you can stay up to date on those due dates for those long-term projects and others. Okay, so the shift for homework, K-5, you are used to them having that daily homework slip, right? Where you sign on the bottom that their homework is completed. Well, now through 6th through 8th grade, they're going to have an agenda, an academic calendar. It looks like that at the bottom left. It's a running notebook for each of the days of the week with each of the subjects that they'll write down their homework in. So it's not something that you will see and need to sign every night. It's something that students, you are going to be responsible for every day. I hear it all the time in junior high classrooms. Students come in and the teacher says, okay, take out your agendas, homework's right here, and then take out your bell work. That's almost every single junior high class that you go into. It's that same routine. You sit down, you open up your backpack, you take out that agenda every day. And so that way at home, parents are able to open up that agenda and see, okay, math, you've got questions 3 through 7 tonight, whatever it is. It's almost always on the board or on PowerPoint, and that's the first thing that your student will do when they go in the classroom. It won't be at the beginning of the day or the last thing of the day. Every teacher won't be able to go around and check that everyone is complete. So it's that scaffolding away of that teacher, not, I don't want to say scaffolding away of support, but increased accountability for our students' attendance. In K-5, the homework is graded for completion and it is a separate grade. So when you get the progress reports and report cards, it's English, literature, or reading, homework is a separate grade. When they transition to 6th through 8th grade, homework is now embedded in each of the core classes. Homework is now embedded. So if your student is not completing the homework, or even worse, completing it but not turning it in, not getting the credit for it, then they will likely not be passing. Almost all of the parent meetings I have, they will be getting passing quizzes, passing classwork, they're doing great, homework 0. And when they don't turn it in, it's a 0, and it will plummet their grade. Homework is embedded. If your student is failing, they likely are not turning in their homework. I just want to emphasize, if you can tell it, we've had a lot of meetings about that. And I think that it is because of the shift. It's not a separate grade anymore, it is now embedded. So they could be, performing really well in the state test, performing well on math, but they're failing their classroom grades. Another thing I hear is they've never gotten an F before. They are a straight A student, now they're in the D building in 6th grade, and all of a sudden they're getting Fs, they're in 7th grade, they're all of a sudden getting Fs. It's likely because of the change for the homework grade now being embedded into their core classroom grade. So that's just another thing I wanted to bring up. And okay, now I can go. All right, Mr. Knight.
Hello, everybody. For those of you that do not know me, I am Mr. Vital, Dennis Vital, one of the assistant principals. Our amazing teachers pretty much talked about most of this on this slide, so just going through the core classes here, your basic core classes, and then all the electives that are offered that our teachers did mention. I just wanted to make sure that I clarified with you that if you are going to 7th or going to 8th grade, you will receive via email an elective form that you'll have to fill out through PowerSchool. That form goes to the primary email address that's in your PowerSchool account. So if you have any 6th graders that are going into 7th grade, you want to make sure that that email address is updated so that way you do receive that communication from me when it's time to choose your electives for the school year. How it goes is the parents fill out those elective forms. They put a kind of a ranking on, what is that child's preference, what do they want to have most, art, PE, whatever the case may be. Obviously, we start with 8th grade and then go down to 7th. So Ms. Lewis mentioned it. Your book's a prime example that it's rare that 7th graders get into your book just because 8th grade gets the preference, and it's just kind of how that works. So if you do not fill out the elective form, then I choose the electives for your student. And then if your student comes in and they have PE and art and they don't want PE and art, I keep record, did you fill out the elective form? If not, I'm not going to change that elective until 2nd semester. So they'll have to go quarter 1, quarter 2 with the electives that they've been assigned, and then if there's an ability to change those electives, I can do so during the 2nd semester. So that's why it's very, very important to put in those elective requests once you get that communication, so that way, your student doesn't end up with any electives that they truly do not want. So that's very, very important. So that process begins. It'll start soon. It'll like May 8th is when I plan to start that communication, and then once everybody gets that, the elective forms will start going in, and then we'll work through the schedules, throughout the summer. So 6th grade, the electives work a little differently. There's no requesting electives. Every student gets the same electives during their final hour of the day. So they have Mozart Momentum in the mornings. That's their first hour. So if your student is in the Mozart track, they'll go to Mozart 4 days a week, and then vice versa for Momentum. And then at the end of the day, they'll get a combination art, Spanish, computers, or they'll go into an intervention course. So that kind of rotates through. So they'll get art once a week, Spanish once a week,
computers once a week, and then they'll get intervention twice a week. So that's how it works for sixth grade, a little different than the junior high levels.
Awesome. So Mr. Vital just talked to you about electives, but sometimes it's important for us to think about what a student's day is really going to look like from the time that they get dropped off until the time that they get picked up. So if you have a student that's getting ready to head into sixth grade, they will start every morning, just like every one of our students in our building, at their flag ceremony. So fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth graders are here in the gym, and then our K4 kiddos are outside, but they'll start every day with flag ceremony. And then their first period is that Mozart Momentum track. So they're either going to their music classes or going to their PE classes with that one switch day on Mondays. Then when they come out of Mozart Momentum, their second period class could be any of our core 5 subjects. This sample student has literature first, so they would be with Ms. Munoz for that second period. And then you'll notice that in between the periods, we have about 2 to 3 minutes. This is the transition time. So as soon as that bell rings, students grab their things, they pack up, and then they transition to the next classroom. So like Mrs. Wet was talking about, they're not in the same class every day. So part of learning and growing as a sixth grader is making sure that we're getting our things and we're getting to the place where we need to go in the amount of time that we have to get there. Our teachers in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade do a really great job of being in the hallways, helping kids get to where they need to be, and helping them figure out where they need to go the first couple of weeks of school. So they'll go through all of their different periods up until their lunch and recess time. So lunch and recess works the same as it does K5. They come into the cafeteria, they eat their lunch, they help clean up, and then they get to go out to their recess time and enjoy that time with their friends. And they are over on our big kids playground over on the other side of the field. After they come back from lunch and recess, they'll have 2 more periods. So this student is going to science class with Ms. Garrett and then ending their day in social studies with Ms. Strassner. And then that 7th period is what Mr. Vital was talking about, that intervention hour. So during that time, they will be in their homeroom groups, and their group will go to either intervention in reading or intervention in math, where we make sure that all of our students get what they need during that time. So if your student is struggling in math, they're getting that support. If they are doing well in math, they are getting extension material during that time. And any day that they're not in intervention, they're going to either computer, Spanish, or art class. 7th and 8th grade looks very similar to the 6th grade schedule. The difference here is that we don't have those core classes anymore, right? So one 7th grader might go see Mr. Nelson for social studies, while another one would go see Mr. Oster for social studies. So we have first and second period. You'll see that the times are a little off, that's so that we can make sure that our 6th graders and that our 7th and 8th graders are not all transitioning at the same time, because it's a lot of kids. So we want to make sure that our hallways have a little bit more breathing room. So the transition times are staggered. Thank you. I was like, starts with an S. I was going to say scalloped too. That's not right. Great. And then embedded within their academic day, they'll have those 2 electives that Mr. Vital was talking about that they have chosen. Hopefully they have chosen, and not Mr. Vital has chosen for them. The only difference here with lunch and recess is that 7th and 8th grade have their lunch recess time at the same time, but only one grade is in the cafeteria eating lunch. The other grade goes to recess first, and then they switch. So we want to make sure that they have the space that they need. 2 grade levels in the cafeteria is just a lot, especially when Coach Blair is having PE on the other side in here. So we want to make sure you guys remember that too. And then they'll finish their day with their 6th and 7th period, either an academic class or an elective. And part of, I think, the biggest transition for students as they're going from being in a 5th grade classroom over into the D building is really this idea of like, how do I organize myself for all of my classes? And the most important thing is to make sure that your child has a backpack and that they are bringing that backpack to school with them every day. A lot of kids, when we're getting their backpacks and bringing them up, are like 55 pounds. We're like, what is in there? Their backpack should not weigh that much. So if you ever pick your kid's backpack up and you're like, what is this? Go through it and look through it with them. We want them to have materials that they need for class. So your child's teachers will send out supplies list so that you know what to purchase for your student in order for them to be successful. But the normal things, binders, paper that's stored inside their binders, not just a ton of loose leaf paper in their backpack, a calculator for their math classes, and I would say probably the most important thing is to have that agenda. So it helps them record their homework for the day, but it also is one of the ways that we are able to measure their bathroom passes. So if they lose their agenda, causes a little bit of a conundrum when they are trying to use the bathroom. So important that they have that to organize their homework, but also to use it as our pass system. And just like a quick tip, I know we do this with our little kids, but just because they're older doesn't mean that they don't need the organization support. Take a look in there every 2 to 3 weeks, make sure they've cleared out any food that they might have left in their backpack, and making sure they're turning in that homework that they're working on. Other items that are important to bring: deodorant. It is a totally different smelling building in the second semester because kids have figured it out, but the more you can help with that, the better for first semester. Water bottle, and like we said, we'll send out a supplies list so you'll know exactly what to bring your student. And Mrs. Went touched on this a little bit, but you guys all have access to PowerSchool. You can access that on the computer, but you can also access it on your phone. My favorite thing is getting the notifications that my son's grades have been updated, so we can really stay on top of him, making sure that he's turning in everything. If you ever have questions about your PowerSchool login information, give a call to our front office. The ladies up there are amazing and can help you troubleshoot and make sure that you get logged in.
Thank you, Ms. Lardner. If you don't know me, I'm Sandy Udehart. I'm one of the other assistant principal here. But before I go through my slide, I'd like to recognize our NJHS students over here who are volunteering tonight. Big wave, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. They're awesome. So we do have a National Junior Honor Society here, side note, so they're pretty awesome kids. Just real quick, going over dress code. You all know this is a uniform school, and we do have a code of dress that is expected here. They're expected to come in wearing presentable clothing. We do have expectations as far as, I want to tell you real quickly the frequent things that we dress code students for. Ripped jeans, even if the ribs are covered on the backside, so they cannot have ripped jeans. Wearing leggings as pants is not allowed, and a lot of our students do like to do that. They can wear the leggings under a dress, that's totally fine, but as pants is not okay. The junior high school girls like to get their noses pierced. They are not allowed to have that, so if they do decide to do that during the school year, and I know when you get it pierced, you can't take it out, so they'll have to wear a Band-Aid on it, which comes off throughout the day. So for the girls that we have that do get their nose pierced during the school year, it's a pain in the neck for them because they're constantly having to deal with that. So it's just something to think about. Noted for the boys, designs in the hair is something that we've also dress coded for. Crocs are not allowed. Trying to think. Makeup, so modest makeup for the girls. And hair color, it shouldn't be anything like purple, pink, green. Teal, we've had that this year, so that's not allowed either. So making sure that the kids are demonstrating that natural hair color, and the school attire should be, of course, clean, but fitted neatly at the waistline. No big baggy pants. We don't want to see underwear hanging out, that kind of thing. Next one. So you all, if you go online to our online platform, there is a spot up there. It says, I think it says resources for parents, and you hit that drop down. There's a handbook in there. Anytime you have a question about anything on our campus, including dress code, you can just check that, look it up, make sure that your student is coming coming to school dressed appropriately, because unfortunately, if they do get dress coded, they will come to the office and give you a shout out. I'm going to need you to bring me some extra pants home because my pants have holes in them and I can't wear them. And then that inconveniences you as well. And teachers also will send a dress code slip home. So if they don't send them to the office, you'll just get that dress code slip to let you know, hey, next time have your student not wear his pants again, that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of anything else, but I think that is pretty much it for dress code. It's just something that we work towards on making sure that the kids remember what's appropriate. Oh, I forgot the other one. I don't know why, and I know we live in the desert and it's so hot, but our students wear their hoodies year round. It could be 110 degrees outside and they've got those hoodies on and they're sweating up a storm. So that being said, if they're wearing a hoodie, any kind of outerwear that does not meet the dress code criteria, they can wear it, but they can only wear it outside. If they come inside with it, they have to take it off. And a lot of them like to fuss about it, but they're, it's cold out, they can wear it outside. So anytime you have a question about what they can wear, just hit up the handbook and it'll give you all the information that you need regarding our dress code.
Right, I am back. I get this slide, it's just a picture, so I'm on the hook there. So we do utilize in junior high, so that's in 7th and 8th grade, a value program, previously known as the Pride Point program. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. It is a points-based system, so all 7th and 8th graders, 6th graders as well, sorry, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they get 15 points at the start of the quarter, and the objective is to keep those value points for the duration of the quarter so that they can participate in Value Day at the end of the quarter, which is organized by our junior high team. It's just a fun way to recognize those students who've been, having an amazing quarter, and, it's fun activities planned. They do games, they do things outside, escape rooms, all kinds of things that's just fun. They get to mingle with their friends and hang out. It's just a really good time for them. So the objective is for those students to not forfeit those 15 value points throughout the quarter. We try to put a big emphasis on it that if you lose a value point or two, it's a pretty big deal. You've been given warnings, maybe an email home. We've tried different interventions, but we want to put a lot of value on these value points, that if you do lose them, it's a pretty big deal, and it's pretty egregious in terms of what's going on. It takes place during the school day at the end of the quarter, every quarter, and that way we can just have all those students together and hanging out and having a good time. It might be tough to see, but it's just a general description of the point matrix. So if your student were to surrender any value points, 1 point could be for chewing gum or being late to class, having a dress code issue. Usually our junior high teachers are pretty good about giving a warning, hey, don't make sure we fix this or don't wear this again. But if they, students are old enough to know if they choose to wear that again, then at that point they're being defiant, and that's that could be a value point that they've surrendered. Any inappropriate language or any cell phone usage at school, those are like examples of ways to surrender value points. Any horse-playing, that's a big one. Just kind of keeping our hands to ourselves. I try to preach it every morning at flag ceremony. Even though you're trying to be friendly or joking around, that's what leads to bigger issues. Because we never know what that line is, and we never know when someone's joking, or it just creates problems. So we try our best to make sure that we're communicating to keep our hands, feet to yourselves and off of other people's belongings. If there are any bigger infractions, obviously that is referred to admin, and then we would help support the teachers as opposed to them handling it by themselves. Students who do surrender those 15 value points in a quarter, they will not participate in that quarter's value day. So they'll be in an alternate classroom during that time. It's kind of like an in-school suspension kind of feel. They'll have a packet. It's usually, I prepare like the handbook, and they answer questions regarding the handbook, stuff like that, or some reading comprehension. Everybody loves that, so it keeps them super busy. And then we also might have them participate in some campus beautification at that time as well. So either helping pick up trash outside or helping the cafeteria staff if they might need something. That's an option as well. If those students do give up all 15 in a quarter, there is an opportunity for them to earn value points back. And then Ms. Udehart and myself, we would come up with a system. If it's campus beautification, we've had some students help out in classrooms. So a way to give back to the campus, and then they can earn points back in order to participate in Value Day. That can only be done once for the school year. So it's not like the student can give up their the value points and then make it up and then do it again the next quarter. Sorry, you get one chance to kind of redeem yourself, if you will. So that can only happen once. If students give up 2 or more value days, then that would deem them ineligible to attend the field trip at the end of the year that all of their classmates will be going on, which is, we're excited. We have our first field trip this year. It's going to be great. So We want to keep those value points so that way we can keep our value days and then go on a field trip at the end of the year. Minga is a new platform that we've piloted this year. It is a digital hall pass system that our 6th grade and junior high teachers use. So students, they sign out on an iPad or a computer, and then it starts like a little timer, 3 to 5 minutes is typical, and then it says where those students are going, and then teachers or the students end the pass when they return. It's just a great way to not only hold students accountable, but we can kind of see who's moving about, you know, the hallways, who are the frequent flyers, and then you might get a phone call, hey, your kids use the restroom, 18 times and it's been 2 weeks in the quarter. So those are ways that we can help just kind of minimize the traffic, if you will, in the hallways to make sure that our students are making good choices throughout the day. We also use Minga for our value points. So that's the platform that the teachers would use to remove value points from the student that has surrendered them. You do not get a notification from Minga. That would come separately from a teacher email. So just to keep an eye out for that. If the student were to lose value points, there would be no communication from Minga. It would come from the teacher. If there was an issue. This went broke the computer.
I don't remember. Oh, here.
Oh, that's it.
It knew that we were nearing the end because we are. Oh no! Wait, one more thing. Go ahead.
Sorry, one last thing for me. We do have our junior high trip that is being scheduled as we speak for next fall break. We'll be heading to New York City and Philadelphia. So there is still time to sign up for that if you are interested. As soon as this one fits the computer. So I do have the code up there. So you go to worldstrides.com and our trip ID is 213130. So if you enter that in, it gives you all the information. If you have any specific questions about the trip, you can email myself. I'd be happy to help out with that. We have 19 people signed up so far, which is a pretty good crowd, second biggest of all the legacy schools. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going, Mrs. Raxter is going, and Mr. Nelson. We are going for the New York and Philadelphia trip. So we're super excited. There is still time to sign up if you're interested. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to clarify anything for you.
All right, we just have a couple more slides about frequently asked questions. Most of you know that in junior high, in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we do offer sports every quarter. So every quarter there's a different sport, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I wanted to bring up that flag ceremony for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is at 8 o'clock in the gym here, just like how it has been. We follow a traditional calendar. Our school calendar is still available on the website. So you can look now at when our breaks will be, so you can plan family vacations. Do we have parent volunteers in 6th through 8th grade? Yes, we do. So if you're interested in being a parent volunteer, we still have them in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, even if your child tells you no. We still do, okay? All right, are there any general questions for everybody, for the good of the cause? Thank you guys, I really appreciate you guys coming up tonight, honestly. We'll be around for a little bit if you have questions for us, or teachers will be around here just for a couple more minutes. We had our staff versus students game today, and let's just say I'm very out of shape, so I'll be sleeping like a baby tonight. Okay, all right, have a great night. Thank you guys for coming.
Oh my gosh, good job to you guys. What happened? I said same figure. I got that too. I got that too. Okay. Hey, Trish. Skip.